So thank you so much for remaining respectful. So now let's start with our closing. So good afternoon, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the past 2 days at our conference here at SCVMUN. As I looked through the committees, I was truly impressed by the delegates immersed in intense debate on topics ranging from biological weapons to the fight against organ trade in our GA committees. I had the fortune of seeing all of you work together in unlaws to craft comprehensive resolutions with the aim of remaining peaceful and collaborative. I was able to see the delegates of SC and HSC work furiously to craft intricate crisis notes and directives for our crisis staff to build their story. Overall, I had the pleasure of seeing how delegates took the ideas and words from their eloquent speeches and translated them into concrete solutions on paper. I would like to congratulate you all for your effort over these past 2 days to uphold the goals of the United Nations during this conference. Now, without further ado, I would like to ask the delegates from each committee designated to give their rapporteur speech. So I'll be starting with the delegates from Security Council.
Hey, we're the Coaching Board from the Security Council. Our topic was the crisis in Myanmar, which is pretty much what is genocide in Muslims.
So, as you do in the Security Council, we tried to come out with directives, which led to our first committee session ending with an hour-long voting block. So these directives were 3 main types. First were sanctions.
China vetoed it.
Second was supporting the government.
France vetoed it.
But luckily, we actually got multiple resolutions passed.
Press releases.
Yeah. When that crisis took charge, there were leaks, more press releases, and an attack on the American embassy.
We then spent the next 2.5 hours on meetings.
Then the crisis got an assassinated leader of the Myanmar government.
We tried to investigate, the U.S. vetoed it.
Now, the last thing that really happened in the committee is Russia and Belgium blew up the loop. Thank you very much.
Our next committee will be Historical Security Council. Would those delegates please come to the stage? So it's actually my first time at all even. So when they asked us to give this speech, I was pretty excited until I found out what it was. So we were the Historical Security Council, and our topic was Civil War in El Salvador. And we were Ethiopia, so obviously we were super involved. So basically, we had a bunch of conflicting stuff get passed, and we got a crisis update every 2 minutes.
But like on a more serious note, even though at first we didn't really understand why we were discussing an issue that's already passed, the committee's ability to revisit the past helped us learn again from our mistakes and from the civil wars of the past, so that hopefully today we can end our civil wars.
Thank you. Next up is the delegates from NATO.
Imagine having objections to resolutions being passed. This post was made to you by the NATO gang. In the NATO committee, passed 3 different resolutions unanimously and merged them into one large resolution, ranging from important issues such as cybersecurity, political stability, and education.
Oh, wait. You're forgetting about the important cities of fish, hockey, people getting shot in stadiums, and time freezing.
We would also like to take this time to thank our committee chairs who took 15 hours to drive from Seattle.
Regardless, we are very happy with all the resolutions that we passed today, and we hope that important species like the carp can make lasting changes in Afghanistan.
I would now like to welcome the delegates from World Bank.
So I was Afghanistan in UNHCR, and we actually had a great time discussing everything from the definition of what a climate refugee is to the infrastructure that help facilitate climate refugees in their transition to other countries. Now, instead of talking about how we created a multifaceted solution, I'd like to finally have that moment of silence that Sweden requested about 3 times. But instead of 10 minutes, it'll be 2 seconds. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. We did it.
Next up will be the delegate from Utah.
After being nominated as Best Dressed, Best Dynamic Duo, and most likely to be living a double life, it is our great honor and privilege to be representing the EcoSoc committee.
During our time in committee, we discussed and debated the topic of criminal justice responses to cybercrime and how the international community can work best to solve this issue. We talked about audits and data systems, argued way too much about whether or not to use AI, and managed to successfully pass 2 resolutions. Our delegation walks away from these days of committee feeling satisfied and inspired, and truly feel that everyone sitting in this gym right now has both a promising and bright future. Thank you.
Next up, the delegate from IAEA.
So, every week before SCVMUN, I end up spending it regretting being roped into another year of mayhem and chaos. And every week after, I can't think of how I'd rather spend any weekend. This is a truly special conference, and I want to thank you all, and especially my committee, for making this year no exception. In fact, my committee's level of discussion was so high, the community was so respectful, that the only comedic material I had to fall back on was a comparison I made at the beginning of committee. It was a little embarrassing, which is that I tend to run my Molly United Nations committees the same way I run my Dungeons and Dragons games. I won't go too deep into the comparison just to keep it short, but I will say that arguably the role of diplomat is more heroic than any knight or wizard because the problems you deal with in Molly UN, they're scarier, they're more complex, and they're more real than any fantasy monster I could ever come up with. So, thank you all.
Next up is the delegate from Teresa. Hi, we're from Teresa. We're representing Thailand. We'd just like to thank our committee and our chairs for choosing topic 1 over topic 2 because we wouldn't be in this position without you.
Especially with the fact of letting us spend most of our time debating motions and only passing 2 conflicting resolutions, one supporting bioweaponry and one against it. So,
Good luck, world. All jokes aside, I'd like to say that we've had a really productive discussion about biological weapons, and we really love being in this committee this year. We'd also like to shout out Afghanistan for bringing up extraterrestrial invasion and sharks and lasers, so thank you. Next up is delegate from who?
That's the number of hours you spend a day on how to ensure access and coverage of prenatal care.
31 is the number of delegations that emanated confidence in diplomacy by speaking in front of you something, whether that be about levying taxes, raising awareness, or the infamous resolution to solve a model with 2 M's.
And accountable is the number of times we batted with other nations to create comprehensive solutions.
Thus, I'm proud to announce that we could all come to consensus on one thing. Absolutely nothing. But ultimately, we are proud to have been given the opportunity to participate at SCVMUN 2019 and create
So the United Nations Environmental Program started off discussing one of the most unique MUN topics that I've ever had, global warming.
But it's fine because it involved us talking about injecting salt water into the clouds that will never rain and birds that obviously won't fly. And there was weaponized global warming is dangerous possibility of the future.
But overall, wouldn't want to solve global warming with any other group of people. Also, we reached 100% participation on the last comment of the last voting block, so we appreciate that.
Next up, the delegates from Sophia.
Alright, hello. I'm from Sweden. Not really, but you know what I mean. So I just want to say, who knew organ trade would be so fun? Passing 2 resolutions, non-stop fighting about social benefits, the whole 9 yards basically. I just want to thank everybody for giving their hat out today. Special thanks to my chair, Nora. She's leading me into last year. Amazing chair. I want to shout out Denmark over there, China somewhere over here, they're all over, and my beautiful YBHS One Club. I can't do it without you guys. I love you. Shout out to Green Pie.
Our next speakers will be from UNDP.
Nelson Mandela once said, education is the most powerful tool which can education is the most powerful tool which we can use to change the world. A delegate stole this quote from a poster in a classroom in England.
England is honored to be part of the United Nations Development Program, in which 45 seconds is not enough time to do our committee justice.
If anything, 45 seconds is not enough to do some delicate justice, as we always ran out of time. UNDP, I have a question. How can you yield time if there's no time left?
Now, these renewable energy is a new factor we decided in today's committee to resolve sub-Saharan Africa's lack of energy.
We worked tirelessly to diversify renewable energy to obtain equity and sustainability.
We're happy to say that 1 out of 3 of our resolutions passed, even though ours did, I guess we don't like low batteries.
That being said, we yield our time to SCVMUN.
Our next delegates will be from the legal committee.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is actually my second conference, and it's also my second time on the floor, so I'm honored that every committee I go to before to come here and talk to them. I'll try to do my best. I am representing legal, and we did a lot of cool things. We actually passed resolutions regarding the death penalty. It was, everyone came together and we all agreed that it was good not to kill people, which is great. Nothing really special happened, except for Saudi Arabia repeatedly giving us religious lessons. I thought that was a lot of cool. It was pretty cool, it was pretty chill. We did almost have a riot talking about the dynamics of bees and how they can fly, so that was really cool for us. We kept it cool. So yeah, thank you for all for being here, thank you for having me be here, and yeah.
Our next speakers are from UNESCO.
All right, folks, we are from the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. We'd like to begin with a Nepali proverb, something about an elephant doing something, life.
Okay, inside your society, this committee was extremely productive. We discussed ways to strengthen rural education by using technology, training teachers better, and reforming finance. that we pass comprehensive resolutions to tackle these key issues.
Quite ironically, one of our chairs is a teacher, and she even said that our committee was one of the best she'd ever been in or chaired. But we still have some pressing questions to answer. I, for one, do not know what sleep is. And we still haven't voted on shutting down the UN and reestablishing the League of Nations. Furthermore, sorry, it's time, just like committee.
Thank you very much, Dr. You are now dismissed. You may go back to your seats and sit with your teams. Thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause.
Now we will be beginning by handing the mic over to the directors, who will be announcing awards for each committee. Please, for the sake of time, hold your applause until the very end, and please minimize the side chatters to give our directors the respect they deserve. So first, we will be beginning with awards from the Security Council Committee.
But nonetheless, Anthony and I are so proud of all our delegates. You guys all did an amazing job, and they were so impressed with the level of debate. We would like to give verbal commendations to Indonesia and Cote d'Ivoire. We would like to give honorable mention to the United States of America. And we would also like to give honorable mention to the Dominican Republic. We would like to give outstanding to France, and most outstanding goes to China.
Just another reminder, please hold all of your applause to the very end. We'll have each director announce all of their awards and have people come down and applaud. Thank you. So our next committee will be the Historical Security Council. So please welcome the directors from HSC.
Hello everyone, good evening. I just want to say real quickly that I really, myself, and Coach at Ceremonies, we're very pleased and honored to be with our delegates in the Historical Security Council. They were challenged with some of the most tremendous crises of 1989 in El Salvador, some atrocities, and we're very pleased with how it turned out, how they were able to respond in the end and face those challenges head on. So without further ado, we're going to move into the awards, and so remind you, please hold your applause till the end. So our first honorable mention goes to China. Please. Thank you. Alright. And the second honorable mention goes to Senegal. Outstanding goes to the Kingdom of Nepal. And most outstanding goes to France.
Next, we will be having the directors from
incredibly impressed and tremendously pleased with how this committee went. NATO simulation was different from most monument simulations in that all of the draft declarations that we had on the floor needed to be passed with a unanimous consensus from everybody in the committee. Despite that tremendous obstacle, we passed 3 draft declarations, and we were stunned with the level of debate, discussion, and compromise and diplomacy in our committee. With that, we'll hand out the awards. We have an honorable mention. First we have a verbal nomination for the Czech Republic. Please hold all applause to the end. We have honorable mentions for Canada, Estonia, and the United States of America. We have outstanding goes to Italy and France, and most outstanding goes to Turkey.
I'd like to, first of all, say that I'm very thankful for the opportunity because I thought this was a wonderful committee. Never have I seen a committee so efficient at getting through both topics, a crisis and kind of some those. With that being said, I'd like to give out verbal accommodations to Italy, Russia, Senegal, and Germany. Honorable mentions for Cote d'Ivoire, USA, Saudi Arabia, for India and Hungary, and most outstanding to South Africa.
Brazil, the United States, and Saudi Arabia. Honorable mentions will go to Ethiopia, Israel, Denmark, and Italy. Outstanding goes to Nepal and South Korea. And most outstanding goes to Singapore.
Next up will be our directors from EcoSoft Committee.
Thank you. So at EcoSoft, we have a really great committee. It's very large. It's nice to get a microphone here. It's great. We had great debates with the topic of cybersecurity, being able to see all the great ideas that people always bring to offer. So with that, I'd like to get to awards. We'd like to give verbal accolades to Colombia, Senegal, Venezuela, and Israel. Honorable mentions to Brazil, Spain, Egypt, and Canada. Please hold your applause, thank you. Outstanding to Italy and Singapore, and Gallo goes to Ethiopia.
So this committee was probably the hardest in all my years of chairing to decide the words for. That's why for verbal accommodations, I'm going to go with a bit of a cop-out. I'd like to commend essentially all the delegations that had a chance to present their resolutions during that time. Not only did they have to contend with really tight time constraints, the margins between each delegation and the difference between awards and winning award and not winning award were so razor thin this year. So please pat yourself on the back if you were just in the thick of discussion because the way this year was really tough. That being said, I'd like to give honorable mentions to the delegations of Turkey, South Korea, and Singapore. Please take your applause for them. I would like to recognize the delegations of South Africa and France for outstanding. And finally, the gavel goes to the delegation of China.
Without further ado, we'll go for our awards. I'd like to give verbal mentions to Greece, Lebanon, and Italy. Honorable mentions to Singapore, Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, and Thailand. Outstanding to France and Turkey, and most outstanding to Spain.
debate. Everyone was very engaged. We also both appreciated the sense of collaboration we saw with you guys. So good job on that. Unfortunately, after working 2 days tirelessly on 4 resolutions, you guys decided to reject all of them. We're a little bummed out about that. But nevertheless, great job done. Thank you so much. So first, I'd like to give out a few verbal commendations. Those go to the nations of Hungary, Saudi Arabia, and Senegal. Next, with honorable mentions, we have France, India, Singapore, and Russia. Please stand your applause again. For outstanding, we have Italy and Ivory Coast. And finally, the gavel goes to the United States of America.
Hi everyone, my name is Noel. I have the privilege of chairing the joint committee this time, and we discussed the topic of geoengineering. We passed a variety of colorful resolutions with cool names like iceberg and salt. One thing I want to highlight this time around is that our committee had a great mix of students that were first-time debaters and fourth-year learners, and I'm just very impressed with all the work that I saw in the past 2 days, especially in the new campus, and just the outstanding performances that I saw from our training candidates as well. And studying the world was very difficult. That being said, I want to give verbal commendations to Brazil, Saudi Arabia, and Latvia. These are the applause. And then honorable mentions will go to Cote d'Ivoire, Singapore, and France. The outstanding awards will go to China and Italy. And the most outstanding medal was to Ethiopia.
It was a pleasure directing talking this year. We had a rigorous discussion about illegal organ trade, and I think my committee learned a lot, medically speaking, about viability and preservation of organs. And I think they also hopefully can now pronounce Iran and Iraq correctly. Having said that, I'd like to give verbal commendations to China, India, and Saudi Arabia. I'd like to give honorable mentions to Latvia, Indonesia, France, Thailand, Denmark, and Slovenia. I'd like to give the outstanding award to Eritrea, and the most outstanding delegation and gal goes to Italy. Our next committee will be UNDP.
Good afternoon, delegates. Thank you to all the delegates of UNDP for making my 8th SCVMUN and first solo chairing experience a successful time. Thank you guys for all of your hard work and great substance and effort. You guys really did an amazing job. So, with that, I move on to the awards. I'd like to give verbal commendations to Russia, Brazil, Latvia, and China. Honorable mentions to Venezuela, Italy, and Saudi Arabia. Outstandings go to France and Laos. And the gavel goes to Singapore.
Alright, so to begin with the committee, my co and I were very, very pleased to see our recent activities done within our committee and how we took such a wide topic of the death penalty on the global stage with such charisma and how we were even able to pass at least one resolution if that was even possible. So with that being said, we're going to move on to our awards. To start off with commendations, we have Serbia, Italy, Thailand, and Saudi Arabia. For honorable mention, we have India, Laos, and Singapore. For outstanding, we have Russia, China, and for most outstanding in the gavel, we have France. I can't this was to choose even who won any awards because everybody came in, everybody talked, everybody was really interested and engaged with positive education in rural areas. And it was really refreshing to see a group of kids that are freshmen and seniors doing great work. So thank you so much, and I appreciate that you guys like this too. Okay, so because of that, we had a really hard time, and we want to give out a couple verbal accommodations as well. So the verbal accommodations go to Latvia, Saudi Arabia, China, Italy, and Lebanon. Then honorable mentions are going to go to Vietnam, Ecuador, South Africa, and Singapore. Outstanding goes to Nepal and Senegal, and most outstanding goes to France.
Experience and enjoyment from this conference. I hope that you all achieved your goals, overcame your fears, and brought your passion to committee over this weekend. I hope you will take what you learned here at SCVMUN and apply this knowledge as you grow into the leaders of tomorrow. At this time, I would like to give thank you to all those who have helped me over this past year to put on the 48th session of SCVMUN. I would like to thank my advisors, Mr. Phipps, Mrs. Jenkins, and Mrs. Wilson-King, for advising me throughout this entire process. They were always there for me whenever I needed it, prepared for even the smallest of questions. And I would also like to thank Santa Teresa High School delegation, who labored through much of the physical logistics of this conference. I would like to give special thanks to my Director General, for helping staff our committees with so many wonderful directors. So we can have a quick round of applause for leaders. I would now like to introduce the rest of my incredible secretary, Kylie, Michelle, Zach, Anya, and Paige, for working tirelessly to make this conference a success. I'd also like to thank my friends and family for helping me throughout this year, through the stress of senior year and planning this conference. And last but not least, I would like to thank all of you, the delegates and advisors, and a special thanks to the women group who has come from Rome to be here today. SCVMUN would not be possible without all of you here, and I'm incredibly grateful that I was able to work with such an amazing group of people. Though this is a sad moment for me as we move towards the end of my last SCVMUN as a member of high school MUN, I'm so happy that you were all able to be a part of this with me. I would like to make a few announcements. So please keep in mind that the next session of SCVMUN will be on January 31st and February 1st of next year. So I hope you will all be returning to join us again for next year's session, our 49th annual session. Now, another reminder, before you are dismissed, please make sure to pick up everything around you so that you don't have to return here for any lost belongings. So please be mindful of our facilities. Okay, now before I spend the rest of the day thanking all of you, I'd like to move towards any points or motions. Spain. No, any other motions? Belgium. All right, that